No. Oh, I've got a problem, mate. Got a big problem. I'm not kidding, we might have to go down to that Bothy. Can't believe it, man.
How do I know, like, some field mouse hasn't got into my tent, nibbled me in the night?
Stunra! Stunra! Stunra!
And boom! Welcome back to another video. We are quite far north today. You might notice we've got a guest again. Young James is joining us again. And this is mine and James's annual traditional trip up to Scotland on Maybank holiday weekend, which has now happened twice, so it's a real tradition. This time we're up at the lowlands of Scotland, just past Dumfries and a few other places that I can't remember, in the southwest. And we're climbing and camping on, all being well, the biggest mountain in southern Scotland, which is not massive, so it sounds drastic. It's not that. It's 864 metres, I think. Lovely views on the way up, apparently. We're just next to a loch where there's some interesting history and a landmark just up here which we'll go through. So, should be a good one. It's going to be a challenging walk, but we've got loads of time. I'm out of breath already and I've gone 100 metres.
I ain't walking back.
I'll go back and fetch it, mate. You're all good. You wait there. Wowzers. This is the lot behind. Whew. That noise is so peaceful. Can't hear a thing. So, just to run through this. Remembrance of Robert the Bruce, King of the Scots. His victory in this glen over an English force, 1307, opened the campaign of independence, and obviously won at the Battle of Bannockburn 7 years later. So, on this very loch in 1307, on the northern shores, which I think is that way, 1,500 Englishmen were marching around trying to find things or something or other, and 300 Scots with Robert the Bruce ambushed them, won, and buried most of the English dead on the north side of the loch on something now called Soldiers Home, but like Holm. So a pretty decisive victory for the Bruce. And if you want to see more about the Bruce, there's a film on Netflix called The Outlaw King. Really, really good. James watched it the other night. What did you think, James?
Yeah, the film?
Yeah.
Pretty good, yeah.
Sound. Yeah, a decisive review there from James. Pretty good, he said. He actually gave me a far more detailed review in the car on the way up, but he said it was worth watching. I do not want that sun on my back. Do want sun. Sun, hey! Do want sun. Sun. Whew, look at the view though. The grass is so green. It's a tough start to the climb. It's pretty steep early on. It's flattened out a bit now actually. Just bumped into mum sheep. She's really chilled out. I know normally they'd freak out a bit with the lamb so close. Look at the little horns on the lamb. Absolutely adorable. James has just made an excellent point that this is the quintessential Scottish scene, and he's absolutely bob on. Lovely flowing water down on the right side. Beautiful green grass. A big open clearing. Woodland. And then large mountains in the back. It's class, isn't it? Wish I lived a little bit closer, but it's so good up here, man. Well, we've had a revelation, and not a great one. We thought we were going up there, right? That don't look too bad, does it? No, we're not. We've got to go up that. That's the smaller one we're going up, and then we're camping on the top of that one. This one that I'm pointing at now is about 100 metres higher than that one. And that looks a hefty walk. But we'll give it a best go. I mean, I'm not the fittest and my knees are crap, but I'll give it a go. The annoying thing is, I feel like we've walked up that hill back there where we parked the car, and now we're walking back down. Like, couldn't we have just parked at the bottom of that one and just got cracking? But it has been a lovely little walk so far. But looking at that from here looks pretty daunting. But we'll give it a whack, won't we? I'm making out like it's Kilimanjaro. People climb that all the time. It's probably a leisurely walk for some people, but you know, different people find different things challenging, and the Peak District peaks are an absolute doddle compared to stuff like this. This is the Bothy that's on the way. I've forgotten the name of it, if I'm brutally honest. I did read about it yesterday. I saw there were some signs on it saying it was closed, but they don't appear to be on there at the moment. Hello? Oh, a little fireplace. That'd be a class place to spend the night, wouldn't it? There must have been another fireplace at some point. 2 rooms. Double bedroom. Little fireplace there as well. Quality. I'm not sure how I feel about scratching your name into every Bothy you find. Not sure how I feel about it. Oh, hang on, shout out. At the Walking Wiggles on Instagram. Marketing 101. Some view that, man.
Yeah, it's unreal, isn't it?
We're on the final stretch of the first summit, talking like we're doing K2, which is up there. It's about half a mile up there. That doesn't look too bad. We'll have a rest at the top of there, and then we'll carry on to the Merrick. That one's called Ben Yallery. There is a trig or a cairn up there, whatever you want to call it. So I think we'll stop there and have a drink, maybe a snack or something, and collect our thoughts. Thoughts so far, young James?
Yeah, it's a decent climb, ain't it? Obviously great views and that, but yeah, it's been pretty tough like that, but we're nearly there.
We are indeed nearly there. That last section we just did was I think the steepest section on the map, isn't it?
Yeah, around about.
So that's out the way now, which is belting news. So, stomping to that bad boy. The views are unreal. Oh, magic. Oh. Wind picked up a little bit. Yes, mate. Whew. Buzzing with that. That was hard. When I said earlier on that that section we did was the hardest, it absolutely was not. That last bit up to the top then was grueling. I was really slow getting up there, which is why James was ahead of me. But yeah, that was tough. I kind of don't want to sit down because I think my legs will go dead. Them locks down there, man, look lovely. So, you can see the path, it follows the wall up to the Merrick. Hell of a walk still, about another mile and a bit. A brief but enjoyable stay on the cairn of Ben Yallery. I mean, walking along this now is an absolute dream compared to what we've just gone up. It does look steep getting up the Merrick, but we're nearly there now. It's 1.2 miles left to the top of there, and a chunk of that's downhill, so off we go! The descent, an enjoyable bit, is nearly over. The climb begins in a minute. Look at across this wall here. Managed to catch James up. He just said then, which is a very good point, we've seen like 3 people in 3 hours. It's wild how, I suppose it is a Friday, but it's crazy how desolate it is up here. It's crazy. James is just trying to find his gloves.
I've got the gloves.
You got them?
Yeah.
Okay. We thought we'd made it to the top, but that cairn, Chef James, that cairn is not the cairn. We're so close. The sun's come back out on my back, which is really nice. This, to be honest, hasn't been as steep as that walk first up to Ben Yallery. Getting to the top of there was tough, but this hasn't been too bad. The views are only getting better as well. Now I can see it, right in that gap. Oh, not far now. Oh. And that is the Merrick. Oh my word. So, from the Scottish border until Glasgow, I guess, because I don't know when the next highest mountain is after here. This is the highest mountain in South Scotland. Obviously they get a bit bigger after Glasgow. Between the border and Glasgow, nobody else is higher in the air right now than me and James. That was a slog, boys. I've got to keep got to keep it really mad. Got to be honest with you. It was harder getting up to that first one, which is now, you can see there. That was the hardest bit, man. Ben Yallery. Getting up here wasn't too bad. Some epic scenery though, man. Look at this. Let me take you around. Just completely slopes away down into this huge valley. The wind on the edge here is so much higher than just even 20 feet away from it. Absolutely unbelievable place. Thoughts, Jim?
Yeah, it's unreal up here, isn't it? Yeah, the views are unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's over there. I just took a photo of it from over there. It's unbelievable. It's like, it's panoramic, isn't it, all the way around?
You've heard it from James, it's unbelievable. Right, I'm gonna have a snack, gonna have some water, gonna find a pitch, gonna get the tent set up pretty sharpish. No one else is up here. It's a little bit early, but it's fine. Gonna find us a pitch somewhere. There's loads of flat spots, and we're gonna get out the wind a little bit and just kick the feet up, take the boots off. We've earned it. No. Oh, I've got a problem, mate. got a big problem. The insert for the main pole has come away. See, that's there. So that slot's on there.
Yeah.
Well, the insert for that pole ain't there, so that won't connect. I'm not kidding, we might have to go down to that Bothy. Because if I put that in there and the wind rattles it around, what I don't want to do is not make that decision. It gets to 9 o'clock at night and this goes again. Can't believe it, man. Can't believe it, man. Oh well. It's more for the story, isn't it? Momentarily now between Scarfell Pike and Glasgow, we're the highest people in the air right now. Apart from a lad I used to work with called Danny, who lives in Glasgow, he's definitely the highest person.
Yeah, I did think that when you said it was going to be a cute
Yeah. I think with these, the cheaper they are, the better they are. Frazzles are okay, but the cheaper they are, the better the ones. So, I just said to James we could bodge it and hope for the best. We could both stay in the Elixir 2, which I know is a 2-man tent, but me and James are 1.5 men each. Or we could try and head back. I say try, we're going to do that. Is go back down to that Bothy that we saw on the way up. So, after being absolutely knackered from walking up these hills, I'm going to have to move this mic. Hang on, bear with me. After being absolutely shattered walking up these hills, the sun, we've got about 2 hours of daylight to get back down to the Bothy. This sounds like the start of a Bear Grylls documentary, but like we've got to walk all the way over there and then down there. Like, look at that over there, that other peak. That's Ben Yallery. We've got to get over there, back up that bit, down the other side to the Bothy. It's only about 2 miles maybe, but it's a fairly up and down 2 miles. So yeah, really disappointed, man. I was really looking forward to using the Scarp One Ultra, and I was really looking forward to seeing the sunset and sunrise from the highest point in bloody southern Scotland, but alas, oh, there's a lamb over there stood on a rock. If that won't make your day, what will? Look at it. What a guy. Oh, balls to the tent. Who gives a monkeys? Look at you. Yeah, I was looking forward to seeing the sunset and sunrise, but it is what it is. I'll message Top Tents when I get home, and I think you can just glue them back in place, can't you? But I'll message him and say, what the hell, man? That's what I'll just put in the email, send the picture and say, what the hell, man? So yeah, a bit disappointed, but adds to the story, doesn't it? My knees are bad. For anyone who doesn't know, I have osteoarthritis in both knees, and my left knee especially is really aching, so got the old walking pole to take the weight off downhill, but I've said this before, say it again, swallow your pride, get a walking pole. Right, where's James? Oh, he's behind me way up there. So yeah, a bit of a march on, back to that Bothy before dark, so don't want to be walking down these hills in the dark. Blood and sand! Ben Yallery, our old friend. Oh, we're not stopping this time, so that's where we started. Well, the first peak we got, we were all the way up there and then come down. So now we've just got, let me turn you around, the steep bit at the bottom of this bit here. It's the worst bit, to be honest. And once we come off here, the Bothy's probably only another mile or so, maybe. A bit more, maybe. Mile and a half. Woo! Sunset's looking glorious, so I'm gutted we couldn't camp, because that's looking tremendous. Look how high we are, by the way. There's a radio tower there. We're higher than that. Some pools around the radio tower as well. I wonder if they're swimmable. Probably not, it's still water top of the mountain. It's just a bit hazy to the right, that's the only thing. Oh. Unbelievable timing. Just as the sun's setting behind the hills there, you might not be able to see it on this, but I can just see the roof of the Bothy down there. Not even that far. Oh Bothy, my sweet prince. I've never been happier to see a degraded brick building in my life. A moment of truth. Here we go. Oh, hello. Oh my God, it's ours. There are some lads around the corner here actually pitched up, so I'm going to say hello to them in a minute, but bag off and rest time, man. I'm spent. Oh. That is the noise of two men who are tired boys. We've made it down. I mean, I always sound like I'm talking about something dead dramatic, but that is dramatic for us. But that was last 2 miles there were the last mile and a half especially was tough, wasn't it?
Yeah, feet aren't feeling great.
No.
But I mean, we've done about 7 miles today. Big climb, big descent. So
Said on the way down that like what the people I watch on YouTube will knock out marathon like 26 miles in a day and then do it again the next day. But
those people are called freaks.
Yeah, fair play to them.
I mean, in a way, like obviously this isn't exactly what we planned, but you know, things go wrong, you roll with it, and I think, you know, we're lucky this is here. But to be honest, I think it might be a blessing in disguise. It was pretty windy at the top. I know you quite seem to like that, but there's no wind down here.
No,
We've got a roof over our head. I don't think it's going to rain, but we haven't got to do that descent in the morning, which I think would have been problematic. We're a lot closer to the car.
Yeah.
In a way, I think it's a bit of a blessing in disguise, maybe.
I just want to touch on what James just told me there. Is irrational fear of rabies. Do you want to go through that?
I don't have an irrational fear of rabies. It's not like,
I suppose it's rational, isn't it?
yeah, it's something that can
Decent
kill
thing
you.
to be scared
so-
of.
But it's basically probably spend too much time on TikTok and sort of see like videos about the effects of rabies, and it's, I don't know if any of your viewers have ever looked into that, but it's fucking horrible. And you don't show any symptoms as well for like up to 2 years, so you have no idea you have it.
And then it's too late.
And then by the time the symptoms show, you're basically dead because there's nothing they can do to cure it at that point. You can't. One of the symptoms of it is you can't drink. It's physically impossible to like drink water, and you die within like a few days. But it's a really rough few days. So it's like
This is stemmed from the fact that I said that a rat might come in and bite you.
That's what started this
We haven't
conversation.
started talking about rabies. I mentioned rats.
But yeah, I live in
Then
fear.
James
that, like,
did an impression. Did you do the impression of the bloke you saw trying to drink water?
Yeah, I'm not going to do that for the
Okay.
camera. But
That's a
if you Google like person with rabies, you'll see it for yourself, and it's rough. But like the fact is, all I know, having done quite a bit of camping over the last few years, how do I know like some field mouse hasn't got into my tent, nibbled me in the night, giving me rabies unbeknownst to me, and I'm like 18 months into it.
Yeah, you're 18 months deep.
Yeah, I've only got 6 months left.
Yeah, and then you can't drink water.
It's
Better
yeah,
enjoy it.
It's not good, is it? For the viewers at home, Google it and it'll tell you everything you need to know.
Yeah,
And then you can have a very rational fear.
You
of
can have
rabies as well.
fear of rabies. Right, we've just had a rest. We've sat down for 10 minutes. We're going to go outside and cook up some dinner, put some warm gear on, put some long johns on, etc. Make some dinner. What have you got for dinner?
I've got curry and rice and a couple of naans.
I think I've also got a dehydrated curry as well, so... Right, warm gear is on. I'm feeling a lot better, actually. Moon looks unreal. Background looks unreal. What's for dinner? I'll tell you. We've got a choice of Wayfarer beans and sausage, or a dehydrated meal that I haven't actually tried. Oh, excuse me. I haven't tried these yet. They're from Decathlon. This one is rice and chicken curry. Then I'm going to have the curry. Might have the beans as well, because we didn't have lunch on the drive off. Then, Candy with Andy, the big question that I know everyone's burning to know the answer to, is an American edition. We've got Nerds versus Mike and Ike Tropical Typhoon, which I used to have Nerds when I was a kid, although I think we called them dweebs in the UK. Watermelon and cherry. Cherry I'm a big fan of, watermelon not so much. So we'll see where that goes, then a couple of coffees. That's about it. Right then, 4 clads or well decathlon. Chicken curry with rice. It's absorbed the water really well, I have to say that straight away. Better than those fire pot ones. Oh wow. That is actually, these are some of the cheaper ones as well, it's actually pretty good. Still pretty hot. It's rehydrated really, really well. The only thing is, the taste of the curry is like average. Like, you know the, what's the Wayfarer? Is it Wayfarer? You know the sausage and bean ones I've got? They do a curry one of that. And the taste of the curry is really nice, but this is like, the taste of the curry is okay. It's not bad, but even the chicken is rehydrated really, really well. This is better than fire pot in my humble opinion. I've had like 3 fire pots before and they've never dehydrated well. Rehydrated well. Oh my word. I just want to like inject it quickly. I'm here. Jim's there. It's not too bad really. It was far enough apart, but we're not right next to each other. There is the other room here that may have been better because there's sort of more, sounds daft, it's a small room. There's slightly more area to put your bags because you can't put anything in that corner there because there's a load of twigs and stuff. And there's something under where my bags are here. There's a load of sharp tiles and stuff. Oh, hang on, sorry. And that's a bit much as well, isn't it? There we go. Is that a bit much? Let's have a bit of that. There's a load of sharp tiles, so I don't really want to put my sleeping pad on there. But you know what? James is just outside having a coffee, but I actually think he's right. I actually think coming down is a bit of a blessing in disguise because we're on the way to Ayr tomorrow. We're already halfway back. The wind was more than I thought it was up top. This is actually a pretty sweet setup and I've never stayed in a Bothy, so yeah, I'm pretty pleased with it. But we're not hanging about now. We're going to do candy with Andy in a sec and then get our heads down. But yeah, I just wanted to show you what let me turn that up again. What the bed situation was like. It's that time. We're all tucked in, nearly. I've locked up, shut the door, which doesn't have a catch on it, so. But the mad thing is, there's zero wind in it. It's weird.
Yeah.
There's zero outside. And there's no midges either. We must have timed that perfectly. So we're going to do a quick candy with Andy, and then we're actually going to do another game, which James suggested, is rank the days of the week, which I think's actually a good idea. Although I think there's an obvious winner and loser in there.
Yes.
Oh, we did also talk about reincarnating the direwolf, didn't we?
Yeah, we did a bit, yeah.
But James said it isn't actually a direwolf.
No, I don't believe that it is.
So that's the end of that. He said it's like Jurassic Park, but if Jurassic Park isn't a good enough example of don't do that, then what is? So in here, mate, we've got 2 types of flavours of the same sweet. They're only tiny little things. There's watermelon and cherry. So I'm just going to try them both together. I've got a lot more cherry than watermelon, and they're a bit smaller than I remember. Okay. Watermelons. No, fuck
hell,
off,
mate.
off.
We'll have rats in here now, won't we?
I quite like that.
Alright.
They work quite well together.
I can see where kids would like them.
Yeah.
But
I used to like them as kids.
The 31-year-old.
I know what you mean. Sooner just have a Kit Kat. Interesting that when you import stuff like this, you have to put your own UK nutritional information on sticker. Like there's the American ones underneath that.
No.
But they probably don't put the information that we require on because they're a bit more lax, aren't they, with the old food laws. Yeah, I didn't hate them. I've never had these, mate. I've had them before. I've never had these. Well, it's a good sign James is going in again.
I just want to give him another little try.
Okay. Mike and Ike Tropical Typhoon.
I've just had Caribbean Punch. That's quite nice. Take a couple of them. What have you got there? Yellowy.
I've got green and red.
Kiwi banana is green and red is strawberry banana. I mean, basically just jelly beans.
I hate banana flavoured stuff.
Yeah.
I like bananas themselves, but anything that's banana
Really?
flavoured, I tend not
That's
to
a
like.
little bit like me with chocolate. I like chocolate itself, but I would never have chocolate ice cream or chocolate mousse.
Well, I think it was the problem started not to like be one of these people that name drop places they've been, but I went to Gambia in Africa. I was quite young.
I don't know why I'm acting surprised. I knew that.
Yeah, I did think.
Why am I
the
going?
reaction was
Oh, really?
for the content? But I tried banana juice there,
Banana juice.
and it was fucking foul. And it's
Really?
like imagine the most banana-y thing you've ever had in your mouth, times it about 1,000, and that's what it tasted like. It was awful. I think that put me off. But I do like bananas, you know, and the way God intended them to be.
These are just jelly beans, but the flavours are really nice, I think. All mixed in together.
To be honest, I wasn't expecting much there, but they are alright. They are like a jelly bean, basically.
Yeah, but the flavours are a bit more out there, aren't they? Just want to make sure you don't get the banana one.
I've got
can't
orange and blue.
Yeah, go for that. They're a bit more like, bit more to them than a jelly bean, aren't they? A bit more chewing required. I like how American sweets just come in boxes.
Yeah. Being honest though, when it comes to like chocolate sweets, I think we have the Yanks beat all ends up.
Yeah.
Like, ours is just so much better than theirs.
Agreed.
Yeah.
They go mad for shit sweets, I think. Like, what are they, oh, I can't remember now. I nearly bought them. Sour something or other, but they're not very good. They're okay, but...
Have you ever eaten Hershey's chocolate, which is like their version of Cadbury's?
Yeah, it's crap, eh?
It tastes like sick. No, I'm not joking. It's a well-known thing.
Yeah.
Because the way
I think that's what they're going for as well.
No, it's because the way they it's the way that it's processed with the milk. It uses powdered milk, I think, rather than actual proper milk like we use in our chocolate. So it makes it taste
So it's
like
just
vomit.
so sick.
It doesn't if you're American because it's all you've ever known and you're used to it. But if you're British and try Hershey's, a lot of people go, it tastes like sick.
Right,
It honestly does. Honestly, have a bar of Hershey's and tell me I'm wrong.
Get it in the comments. If you ever had a sicky bar. Right, and finally, before I get my head down, because I'm on the way out here, rank the days of the week.
Right, we'll
You go first.
We'll go from bottom to top, yeah.
Okay.
It's a very obvious bottom answer, which you sort of alluded that it's not.
I think my bottom answer will be different from yours.
Right, anyone that says the worst day of the week isn't Monday is either a liar or mentally unwell.
Okay. Oh, and I tell you my bottom of that, or do you want to go through all yours and I'll go through all mine?
Right. If I was to rank it, Monday would be bottom, obviously.
Yeah.
Doesn't include bank holiday Mondays, clearly, but your average
No.
Monday is the worst day of the week. Second worst is Tuesday.
Okay, I can see a pattern emerging here.
But it is.
I feel like third worst might be Wednesday.
Right. You would be right in thinking that.
Yeah, okay.
Right, but this is where I'll shock
Big
you.
many changes then, doesn't it?
Right. I would then put Sunday.
Sunday worse than a Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday is above Sunday because Thursday you've got Friday to look forward to, whereas on a Sunday you've got Monday to look forward
Yeah.
to. And a lot of how good you judge a day is based on what day follows it.
Right, okay.
So it goes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Sunday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Sunday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So one change. My worst day of the week is Tuesday because I go into Monday with a renewed sense of optimism. I never used to. When I was hungover and out all weekend, Mondays were bad, but I'm never hungover these days, or well, very rarely. Might be on Sunday this week, actually. But Mondays, I'm sort of like, you know what? Work isn't that bad. Let's enjoy it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And then Tuesday rolls around, and I go, that was shit. That was really bad.
Yeah.
So, but I sort of on a Monday, I do sort of, I think maybe life isn't that bad. I mean,
I quite like a Monday evening, like, because
It's out the way.
You feel like, okay, Monday's done now.
Yeah.
I can chill on Monday evening, enjoy this, and the worst of the week's done
Yeah.
with now. It's all down bank from here.
So I would go Tuesday worst, Monday second worst, Wednesday third worst. Wait, so Tuesday, Monday, Wednesday. Then I would go Thursday. I understand your reasoning, but I would go Thursday. Then I would go Sunday, Friday, Saturday. But I think if you'd have asked me this 10 years ago, I wouldn't have said that. But I quite like Sundays now because they're really good days with the kids. And I also, going back to the worst rated day, I don't hate Sunday as much because I don't get that like hangover anxiety and the dread of going back to work on Monday like I used to when I was hanging out my arse, knowing that Monday was going to drag. Again, Sunday night, I'm like, you know what? Let's tackle this week. Let's give this a real go. And then it all ends up. So I would go Tuesday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Saturday.
NFL up Sundays through the autumn, winter months.
Really
But like when you've got a Sunday when there's just nothing happening, like a Sunday in January.
Yeah, you can
It's
sometimes
crap.
find yourself just sitting around waiting for Monday, essentially, can't you?
Yeah.
Sort of wait a while. Time is it now? You start counting down, don't you? You go, well, I've got to be up for work at 7, and then you start going, well, if I go to bed now, I'll have 9 hours sleep. Then you doom scroll for an hour. Yeah. And then you go, hang on, we're up at 7, so we go to bed now, I'll have 8 hours sleep. That's okay. And then you get into bed, and obviously you're on your phone again. And then you go, hang on, what time is it now? It's midnight. All right, well, if I go to bed now, I'll still have 7 hours sleep. That's sort of like, you recommend 8, but 6 minimum, so 7's fine. And then 1 a.m. rolls around, and you go, oh, fucked it again. So you're going to be knackered on the Monday. I do that every night, man. Every night I'm like, no, if I go to bed now, I'll have 8 hours, and then I get in bed, and I end up, like, Googling why Richard Branson set up Virgin, or, you know, something like, I don't know, whatever I end up... And then I end up on a trail then as well, and I'll read about Virgin, and I'll go, oh, and during the 90s, Virgin was competing
a
against...
wiki hole, I think that's referred
like
to.
Virgin Cola. Remember that for a bit?
Yeah, what happened to
Virgin
that?
Cola, yeah. I don't know.
Never see it now, do you?
There's like Virgin Radio, Virgin Trains, Virgin Airways is still big. And is Virgin
I think it's
Airways
been
still
renamed
going?
as something else.
Oh,
And
has
is it like...
Used to be big.
Does it own several of them? Like
Yeah,
several of
possibly, I
them
can't
commercial ones like Heart and all that?
Yeah, Virgin. Yeah, I mean, what do they even have now? Actually, Virgin Galactic, the space one. Don't know. Anyway, enough Branson talk. Bought his own island, so he must be a twat.
Yeah, he is definitely a twat.
Right, and that wraps up for me what's been an interesting day.
Didn't go exactly to plan, but in the end,
No.
I think we've done well out of it.
I didn't agree with you when I was on the top of the hill, and I was a bit annoyed, and you'll probably see in the video, I was a bit annoyed because I wanted to see the sunset and sunrise. In hindsight, camping in a bothy is pretty cool. Why are you camping in a bothy? Sleeping in a bothy is pretty cool. I've never done it before. Seems like a nice one to start in. And you're dead right about the morning. I am over the moon now that coming down that steep bank of the hill, whatever, I can't even speak. I can't speak. Is that with the darts when we're both on 9 darters? Van Gerwen missed it, and then
Yeah, I think it was when Van Gerwen nearly did like a triple 9 darter, and
Yeah,
he
I
did.
can't
It
remember.
was insane one.
Yeah, but both players were on 9 darters. One missed the double, and the other one got it. And yeah, it's never been seen before. The commentators are, I can't speak.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah,
That was.
knowing now that we're down the worst of it, and the walk back to the car from here is actually quite pleasant. It's along the river, so yeah, a lot to look forward to. And then a day in air, watching the football come in, a few pints in the evening. I don't think it's a particularly big town, is it? So there's not going to be like a...
It's like like a tourist resort as such.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be like pumping 2 a.m. tunes type thing.
No, I don't think it's quite Blackpool that, but
No.
well, there's one way to find out, isn't
There
there?
is, yeah. 12 pints of Guinness, and it'll be us pumping the 2 a.m. tunes. Then we'll just drive home hungover as anything on Sunday. But don't worry, because we haven't got the work dread, because it's Bank Holiday Monday.
Thank God for Bank Holiday Monday. You get 2 Sundays this week.
But funny though, I'm waffling on a bit now, but I'm going to say it anyway. Back in the day when we used to go out, how good was it on Bank Holiday Sunday out? But then you were just rotting on the Monday, so you didn't get your extra day off, did you? You went work on Tuesday and you felt horrendous.
Yeah.
Never felt like you had that extra day off. Whereas I really try and do that these days.
Yeah.
Like, try and remember on Monday. I might text you a few times. Just remember it's a Monday. Savor it, enjoy it. I might do a bit of that. Right. I'll see you in the morning.
Good night.
Cheers for joining us. Night night.
Oh, morning. Not a great kip for me, actually. James slept well. There, that kept happening. So there's a door that goes through to the other side, like to the other room. Not the front door, but the door that's there. And that kept like creaking in the night. I kept thinking someone was opening the front door. I've had about 5 hours, so it's not too bad. But I kept trying to get up and go for a wee as well, which I had to do that twice. But you know, all things considered, not bad really. Right, plan now is get up, pack away, back to the car. It's 6:30, by the way. It's still early doors. Back to the car, and then it's an hour's drive to Ayr. We're probably a little bit early to be. We're gonna end up, it's an hour back to the car and an hour's drive to Ayr, so we're gonna end up being in Ayr for about 9ish. The James has eyed up. There's a Weatherspoons there, so he's eyed up a breakfast early doors. But yeah, I need to find out what this Bothy's name is, because I'm sure he's got a name. Yeah, it has got a name. But you know what we didn't do? We did bloody candy with Andy, and then neither of us gave a result. However, we both agreed that the Mike and Ike are better than the Nerds. Just a bit more to them, a bit more substantial. I thought the flavours were really nice as well, so there you go. We both agree Mike and Ike, tropical, whatever it is, were better than Nerds. Sorry to keep you hanging on like that. I bet you were fuming. Into sleep. Right. Get up, pack away, back to the car. Here we go, here it is. The most depressing, demoralising sound in all of camping. Gross, man. Before we get going, I realised that I never actually showed what the problem was with the tent last night. So I'm just going to show you now. The main arch pole that goes over the tent, not that end, sorry, this end. There's no, so if you look at this normal section of tent pole, you see the silver coupler. That snaps in there and then that stays together. Well, the coupler on this section has disappeared. It's gone inside the other pole. So you see it's there. It's completely come away. So the problem is, you could force the poles together by sort of doing it manually, and that kind of would stay. But if that rattles around and this coupler ends up going back down one of these poles, let me move it the other way where it was, if that ends up going back down that pole, then your pole's just like this and your tent's falling over. So it may have stood. It may have stood because might have been enough tension on the pole to keep that coupler in place, but the problem is when that then fails, or if it fails at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, up on a mountain that's somewhat windy and your tent's blowing around, and it's just not worth the risk of this, especially when we knew this was further down. So that was why I realised last night I never actually showed the camera because it was off camera. But. Right, that's us packed away at the Kilshog or Culshog Bothy. Opinions change online depending on who you're talking to. But shout out to the Kilshog or Culshog Bothy. Obviously we've packed it away, looks lovely. Oh, door's blowing behind me. I'll come back out and, oh, wind shut the door for me. There we go. So, it's quite a steady walk now from what I remember. There's a little bit of downhill when we get towards the car, but sort of walking along the river through some woodland, which is really nice. So my legs don't hurt as much as I thought they would as well either. I don't feel 100%, but certainly feel manageable. But man, Scotland is just next level. If you can see the crowd, there's no crowd. See the cloud level on that mountain? See, it's sort of, the mountain disappears into the cloud. I reckon, you know, given how low I think that is, and you can't see the top of that mountain,
I wonder if we'd have had a sweet cloud inversion up there this morning. We'd have had to walk back down through the cloud, but to be honest, like we said last night, James was bob on, you know. I'm happy now we're here. It's only an hour to the car, we can get going to air. I mean, it's still early. What time is it now? Hang on, bear with me. It's 7:20, so we're up early. But yeah, get going to air, get a shower in the hotel and what have you. Although we won't be able to check in till like 1 or something. Beautiful, man. You walk through some like fairly thick woodland for a bit and just get to a clearing like this. That's where we thought we were going last night. We got that wrong. Scotland really is incredible. I say it all the time whenever we come here. I know I'm probably getting boring now, but I'll just never get tired of it. Ever. And we're back at the car park for an eventful night, I'd say.
Yeah, but you know what? It went all right, really, in the end.
Yeah, I think I know we've said it a few times, that fucking bag is doing my head in. To reiterate what you said, it was a blessing in disguise, I think. To be at that Bothy and it's taken us about 40 minutes to walk down this morning is absolutely spot on. So, cheers for watching. I'm going to get in touch with Tarp Tent, see what I can do about that pole. I know I could just glue it myself, but I don't like the idea of being in like a 4-season tent that I fix myself if the weather picks up. I want to know it's sweet. So I'll speak to Tarp Tent. If not, I'll have to buy a new arch pole, I think. But cheers for watching. Another banger in Scotland for us. And I think we'll probably come again next year.
I hope so.
See you next time.
See you in a bit.
Cheers.